Hey guys, Eric Aune here in my shop, Master Plumber from mechanicalhub.com, and I'm going to talk sump pumps. More importantly, the 3 things I'm looking for in sump pumps. Stay tuned. All right, so I've got a Little Giant 6 Series 3rd horsepower pump right here on in the shop on the bench here. I've installed a handful of these recently. It's been raining here in Minnesota. It is sump pump season. Now is what you're going to look at your stock, what you're keeping in your shop, and then also what I think after this video you're going to be looking for is some features and benefits of this actual pump. You might want to check this out, so stay tuned. As promised, what am I looking for in selecting a pump for my business, for my customer? Number 1, performance. Obviously, I need to have a pump that's going to overcome the head height I need to overcome and the physical application. The gallons per minute I need to have hit a certain mark based off of height, things like that. I don't want to, I'm looking at mid horsepower to low horsepower to cover costs. But it needs to get the job done, right? We are talking about groundwater. In most residential applications, we don't need much more than a 1/3 or a 1/2 horsepower. Okay, so performance, number 1. Number 2 I'm looking for is what it's made out of. I can tell you from experience, plastic does not hold up as well as, in this case, cast iron. The other alternative would be stainless steel. You see some pumps that have stainless steel. It's just a slight upgrade from plastic, to be honest with you. Well, I guess it's a big upgrade, but it's not cast iron. Cast iron kind of being the king and what a pump housing should be made out of, in my opinion. Why is that? Well, so as opposed to plastic, the cast iron could take a lot more heat and temperature change, all right? They're just quieter, so they don't transfer the noises from the motor and impeller as much as a plastic housing pump does. So that translates into longer life. I'm replacing cast iron pumps after they've been in the sump pit for many, many years. I'm replacing plastic pumps after they've been in there for months or even a year at the most. The other thing I'm looking for is just variation in size, capacity, and availability. I like that my suppliers are stocking this pump and its performance hits the mark for me. So this, like I said, I've put in a 6 or so recently. I'm stocking this in my shop. It is new to me, but it's been on the market for a little while. This 6 Series from Little Giant. This is 1.5" discharge. It's got a cool feature where molded into this poly reinforced base where the impeller is are these receptacles. You could put the included 1/2" CPVC legs in there to get it up off the floor of the sump basket. These are adjustable. Really what you're trying to do is achieve clearance to this impeller, right? But you can adjust the length of these if you've got a real short basket. And that's where this pump ultimately shines. So, take these off, I'll set them aside. See how short this is to start with? Okay, put an 1-inch-long leg in the bottom of there, you're up off the bottom of the basket, it's gonna operate. It'll operate like this, but better if you put the legs in. This is really short and it doesn't need a whole lot of water overhead to activate the switch because as you see, there's no ball switch here. There's not an external switch being added to operate this pump. The switch is this black plastic housing right here on the side of the pump, okay? So this is a diaphragm switch. Doesn't look like other switches. If you're not familiar, check them out. This is one of the reasons why I like this pump. Diaphragm switches are very simple. There's a rubber diaphragm in here. It's all sealed up and everything, and it is activating a pressure switch. Just on and off, based off of the weight of the water entering this little housing on the bottom. So water goes in the basket, starts to fill up, it gets just above the top of the pump, and it's gonna activate this switch. You don't need a whole lot of water overhead for like that ball switch we all love to hate. Good revenue generators for businesses like mine, but those ball switches are just not reliable, right? They're super cheap. You're typically needing a ton of space overhead so you can get that water deep. And in some cases with really shallow baskets, you've already flooded the area. Diaphragm switch, super reliable. There's not a lot that can go wrong with them. And as you can see, it can't hang up on anything. So that's a bonus for me with this pump. Long cord, I think they got like a 10 and a 20-foot model. It's, as you can see, it's a single cord, not a piggyback, not a switch and pump cord scenario. It's all in one. You can replace the switches on diaphragm pumps like this. So check that out. This is the Little Giant 6 Series pump. This happens to be 3rd horsepower. Good enough for probably 9 out of 10 jobs I'm doing here in the basements of Minnesota. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to this video and this channel. If you're watching me over on social, that's where you get me on this video. Make sure you're following the account Mechanical Hub, either on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or TikTok. We're everywhere. I do appreciate your time, guys. And oh, by the way, if you haven't already, check out the Mechanical Hub podcast. There are 2 of them. The Appetite for Construction, that's John and Tim, my partners. They're talking and interviewing cool people in the industry. And then Andy Mickelson and I are the Make Trades Great Again podcast, where we talk about running our small plumbing heating businesses. All right, guys, have a good day.